What's going on? Legion Nudie here playing more RuneScape Dragonwilds. Welcome to our daily gaming XP grind, episode 195. And as you can see here, I've killed Imoru. I've got his shield, nice little Wolfbane dagger here. Eventually, I'd like to make an episode or just sort of like a video where I kill Imoru. And I know there's already some content on the internet regarding that, but still, I'd like to make a video. So right now, we're actually going to go and plant a little bit of herbs and different things, as well as we are going to be working on farming a little bit, as obviously we've got a ridiculous amount that we need to take care of. I am going to use the ability here. Actually, I need to add it back to the tool belt because obviously this is a good tool. I accidentally have that there twice. So let's go ahead and do this, which should uproot quite a bit of these at once. So yes, I don't know why I haven't been using this, as this is actually so good. But we are going to be using it in the future, as obviously you can see it's incredibly beneficial rather than sort of running around. But then again, as far as time goes, it's not going to save you a ridiculous amount of time, but it will save you some time. So we are going to replant all this really quick, and I'm not sure if the spell will be able to be used again by the time I sort of get back round. We'll have to wait and see, but quite a bit to plant. So I mentioned last video something you could do to prepare for Fail Hollow. I'm sorry, prepare for after Fail Hollow is actually really start to think about what you're going to need in the next update as well as future updates, because adamant, mithril, I should have said it in the right order, but mithril, adamant, and rune, you're going to need coal for all that. So keep gathering coal and sort of stock up on that. And then as far as, I don't know that they've actually mentioned it. I know agility and farming are on the table in prayer. In the future, I could see them adding herblore. I'm not 100% sure because it hasn't been announced. So at this current point, it would just be speculation. But I think that they want to expand off what they've got currently going. So I could see it easily coming to the game. And what that means is you're going to need to get herbs. And I honestly think if you were to just get Corum, that would be enough because you can grow it. So it would be less XP than probably the higher level herbs, but it would get you to a pretty good place. And so I would say try to focus on that. Like some of the other stuff like watermelon, I'm not sure how good it's going to do or how useful or beneficial overall compared to some potentially other things that could really be good and useful. I wonder what the cooldown is, only 5 seconds on this. So technically, you could probably get all of it done rather fast and then maybe plant after. But then you risk weeds growing back. And obviously we all know what that would mean. That would mean a lot of work to have to fix that. So it's up to you guys how you want to do it. But this is a lot faster than I think the way we were doing it before. Still a little bit time consuming. We have added quite a bit more plots to plant. So that's also something that's new. Let's go over here and we can finish up this area. But, I mean, ultimately, it is a little bit time consuming, but you don't have to do it this way. You obviously could do it the other way where you sort of just do small amounts. But I think that if you're just trying to make sure that you're going to max out in the skill and that you can partake in all the future updates for the game that include farming, then this is probably a good way to go, even though, yes, it takes some time. But I imagine that we're all going to be spending a significant amount of time on a game anyway, so why not just get it done and work towards it. And I think it's a good way to spread your time throughout the game. Obviously, there's lots of content that you guys probably haven't experienced yet, quests potentially, bosses, and special drops from creatures. I did try to kill a couple creatures to get the drops for the special blueprints. I haven't really had any luck, which is strange because I feel like how many trolls do I actually have to kill, or the zombie, I can't even recall the name, but they're basically trolls, you know what I'm talking about, and I don't know how many you have to kill because I haven't got one. I know some of the other monsters drop them as well. Before I was using the Abyssal Whip, and I'm gonna honestly say I had watched a video for Amaru, and someone was using the Wolfbane Dagger, and that is just amazing. It's such a good weapon, and honestly, I recommend it basically for killing a lot of the monsters inside Del Hollow. It's extremely effective. Obviously, as time goes on, that weapon will not be as effective, but currently, it's amazing to get through those skeleton creatures so fast. So what once was a creature that gave me a lot of trouble no longer will. That was a nice blast right there. So much got picked up. I guess we could do this with these here, so we don't have to do that again. But quite a bit of XP for sure here. Just got to pick all this stuff up. My inventory's almost full as well. Normally it would have already been full, so I think that's a little bit strange that it's not. Should be quite a bit of XP as well for all this. Now I've obviously got to go get a bunch of weeds. And I think I will do that in this episode and make some plant cures. I think about 130 should cover it, but I guess you hold 99 seeds. It's probably refilling my stack though. So I imagine that we've already went over 100 potentially. I'm not entirely sure, but there we are. So now idea actually how much farming XP I got. But what I do know is we did that. So let's go back here and put the seeds away. Oh my gosh, my inventory is an absolute disaster. So let's go ahead and put all this stuff away. And I guess we'll just drop it in here. We did clean out our chest a little bit behind the scenes. Not an insane amount, but it's something we're trying to stay conscious of, because ultimately, if we don't work on that, then we'll just basically have to keep making more chests. And that seems like not such a great idea, because eventually it's going to be a problem. And I guess the more you sort of get mixed up, the harder it is later to go back and actually fix it. So trying to decide, I don't think, like, obviously I try to keep these episodes at a certain like length, but if I try to kill a Moru right now, I think that will put this video in such a different place as far as time. So I think we're going to show you guys how effective the Wolfbane Dagger is. I think that's a good idea, and maybe we'll get lucky and get a blueprint right after we get all these weeds and turn these into plant cures. I know that we can get 1,000,000 farming XP, and it won't even be that hard. It's just going to be time consuming. I imagine that it could probably be done in about 12 days. That's how long I think you could probably get 1,000,000 farming XP. And actually maybe even sooner if you wanted to plant more. But that means you're going to have to actually get more weeds to make more plant kills as well. So I think it's really up to your own pace and how fast you want all that to happen. I wish there was a way to sort of de-weed all these at once like a spell. That way you could just get a ridiculous amount of weeds at once. But no luck right now, and obviously there has to be some work involved in the skill, so I quite understand that. Fishing, I think, is going to be amazing. I think it's going to be really exciting, um, time consuming for sure. It just sounds like one of those skills. How can they make that not really be something that just takes an eternity? And I don't think they can do that. I think fishing's going to be one of the more time consuming skills. Um, Unless potentially there's spells that allow you to catch multiple. But fishing's going to be one of those really interesting ones that we're just going to have to wait and see how brutal it is. But we've got quite a bit of weeds right now, though. And so you see, just actually having a couple of little things where you can gather weeds is actually quite beneficial for plant cures. But then you're going to need clean water and other things like that. So there's lots of different things you're going to have to do to make this possible. I do wish I would have planted some oak trees. I'm sorry, not some oak trees, some willow trees, but I never really spent more time. It told me that, you know, you need to have more space, whatever that means. So we didn't really take care of that, and we have to fix our shovel. Apparently it's broken. So let's go do that. Put these bars back. Quite a bit of weed still to get as well. This is it though. I mean, this is farming, so it looks like. And for potatoes, that's for me the biggest important seed. I wonder if that's why you can't actually get them so fast. Like, I picked a potato and or like three potatoes and I got one seed. But that's important to me, be able because obviously you can make wild pie, which is going to give you more XP while you're working on skills. So definitely something I'm going to have to work on a little bit and try to get some more potato seeds. Almost done here. It's actually quite brutal, but making it happen. And you also get a little bit of farming XP while you do this too, so it's actually quite nice. Even though it's not a ridiculous amount, every little bit helps. It goes towards your total. And so there we go. And these are actually all growing back, which is, I don't know if it's unfortunate or a blessing. Because honestly, I don't really want to have to de-weed all those again. But as that happened, I imagine maybe some of my crops are poisoned now, which is unfortunate because that's the problem. Is like I enjoy farming, but curing plants is no fun, and I think that's because I don't use soil with the plants. But I think it's just easier to do the plant cures, to be quite honest with you, rather than running around with a little pot and sort of cleansing your soil. I think that just would take a lot longer. This is actually taking a lot longer than I imagined as well. It's an interesting thing, isn't it? Time. So interesting. Okay, so let's get up here and let's get some more animal bones because I know we're not going to have enough. It's interesting how I saved all my animal bones thinking to myself, this is going to be for prayer. And then I end up using a lot of them for farming, which really blows my mind. I didn't really expect that, but at the same time, I don't really think it bothers me much because I think I've got plenty of bones for prayer. So I do think we're going to be okay in that regard. So there we are. So that pretty much just doing that little amount of weeds will probably be enough to cure all your plants. So it works out quite nicely actually. I don't want to go cure any of them right now. I imagine that they will need to be cured by nightfall. So we'll probably do that at the end of the video. And then we're going to go to Fail Hollow right now. I've been putting more coal lodestones all over the place to gather coal faster. I don't really want to get any right now. But what I would like to do is go... I'm trying to find more an area with more skeletons. Because I feel like that would probably be the most beneficial, potentially at getting more drops, things like that, um, in the way of hopes of getting a blueprint. These are so crazy. It's like you need this fine thread, and it's like I just wish there were more of these. I guess there's quite a bit, but they definitely make you work for it. And then this steel two-handed sword is actually ridiculous. I actually used it to kill Maru. It was my the other weapon. And the reason I never used two-handed weapons is because ultimately it just seems like it would be too slow, right? But that's not the case. It's amazing. And then this dagger is also amazing. So it's quite interesting. But now we've got a problem because we're in the wither. So it might not be a problem because I actually do need more ectoplasm. So maybe we can somehow use this to our advantage. Don't have to wait and see. Let's just go kill a bunch of guys here. Show you just... I guess the guys at the Amaru boss are like a lot less health. So it's still a good weapon to use, though. Except right now, I don't have any stamina. So I'm actually getting annihilated. So it's like a really bad representation of someone telling you something would actually be good to use. And then you just get completely whooped. So, not good representation. We're gonna die. We figured we'd die, actually, though. It's not a big deal. And the reason we figured we'd die is because, honestly, we came here for ectoplasm, and we sort of ran into those way more difficult guys. And like I stated, I don't really have any, like, shield, any potion, and it's not that big of a deal. But it's actually quite terrible what just happened. But those red guys, potentially, I don't know. I think it still did as much damage as the whip would have done. I think it just comes down to the fact that there was a lot going on, and that's pretty much why that happened. So now we will go to our body and get it. And then I don't know if I want to go back in the wither, but at the same time, I do need to because I do need ectoplasm. But I'd rather just kill these skeletons and hope for a rare drop. I think that's what we're going to do. Still no health potions, no armor, but you can actually see how effective that was for the one. I think there was just too much going on before. And I also didn't drink my potion again, or my drink, which I should have, because that's going to help me quite a bit. Man, the potion didn't, or the drink didn't even work, and I just took quite a bit of damage. It's ridiculous. Well, he's dead. And I don't think I got any sort of rare drop, but it's going to take time, and I think that's why it's called a rare drop, right? So it's not really a big deal. But just got to keep going and keep working at it. But you can see it's actually really cool, this Wolfbane dagger. And I can't believe I'm hit. Not paying enough attention, I suppose. I guess this is really honestly too, because I don't really mind if I die. I also switched this to air spells. Just felt like it was faster, especially for like 1v1, like a one-on-one combat. I think it's a lot better. Which I kind of already knew fire was better for like multiple targets. I just got blasted again. My gosh, now I'm in the Soul Rift. It seems like I just can't catch a break, and it's because I am making a lot of the same mistakes. So if you keep making the same mistakes, you're going to keep getting the same results. So it's not really that bad though. Got to get this guy dead because those spirits are going to be here, and I'd rather just deal with spirits. So we can get a little bit of ectoplasm there, which will actually be quite nice. We could show you some of that. So there's also this doorway here we can sort of check out. Let's go do that and see what we can't find. I think I've been in this one before. Let's take a look, see. We've got this really powerful guy over there. Got some soul fragments. You can see how powerful this Wolfbane dagger is. This is the only guy I feel like that's really going to give me trouble. He is quite difficult to kill. But I do believe he actually drops one of those special drops I was talking about. Might be better to use magic to kill this guy. I'm not entirely sure. Obviously, everyone has their weakness. So if you actually just time it right, you can just sort of jump out of the way of the attacks. But obviously, that's the whole point, right? Timing it right. We actually are taking him down there quite nicely, so once he's out of here, it might be a little bit more easy. We've got quite a bit of lost souls after us right now. There we go. So that was really amazing. I don't think he even dropped anything. There it is. I guess it was a little bit of lag on the drop. But still nothing. No special stuff. Nothing. But Time to bust out the Wolfbane dagger. Really awesome, actually. The ectoplasm comes so slow. I wonder if you get less in this room. That's very possible. Or might be by creature. Like the wolves might actually give more. I don't think that's the case either. There must be a faster way to get this stuff. I don't know if you can actually fight Imiru inside the Wither. 121 seconds. I wonder what happens if time sort of just goes on. Do you die? Does it like... Do you fight Imiru? Maru? I have no idea. Because I've never made it that far. Usually the dogs kill me, so... Guess we'll have to wait and see. But you can see how fast this actually takes down the dogs. It's actually quite crazy. What if you get stuck in a wither? That would be terrible. He's growing impatient. 80 seconds. I'm not sure, like I stated, what is going to happen. Just going to have to wait and see. He's grabbing onto me. Couldn't move in time, but I didn't really take any damage for that. I've got to let my run heal up because we're not going to be able to get out of his grasp. Oh, there we go. He's on me now. I don't know if I can actually fight him, like, and he'd take damage. I really should have one of my drinks. I don't even know if I can take those drinks in here, to be honest, though. We've got to try to run. At least get my stamina up. 12 seconds. I don't know what's going to happen, actually. Like I stated, I have no idea. So it's going to be interesting to see now if I actually can survive. So I did die, but I think the dog killed me. And I'm not entirely sure what happened. So it looked like I was coming back to the real world. So I've got no idea, actually, in fact. But still really cool. Just to sort of see what it would be like to stay inside there. I don't think I gave it really a good enough try to actually try to take another drink. But I'm not sure if you can actually drink in a spirit realm. There's something over there. It's just actually like one of the cauldrons that'll bring you back out of the Wither. I would like to fight a Muru soon again. It's actually a really exciting fight. It's a little bit stressful the first time because you're just trying to understand what's going to happen. But I'm going to let you guys know you definitely can do it. Don't let it get you down. Ultimately, you can do the fight. But initially, I thought I couldn't. My tips are going to be to use a steel two-hander and then use the Wolfbane dagger to kill the smaller units, switch back and forth, and bring lots of shield cores. You're going to need them. If you don't bring them, you are not probably going to beat the fight. I'm sure there are those elite gamers that can actually do it without it, but I guess it just wouldn't make sense to put yourself in a position where, I mean, like, if you can absolutely get it done, that makes the most sense to me. Don't put yourself in a position where you might not get it done because you just didn't do something so silly as that. Like, I definitely recommend it, and just bring the shield cores. Makes so much more sense. Don't put yourself through extra that you don't have to. I don't think I got anything special as drops. I've been sort of trying not to die again, so looks like we need to go back to sleep again because our inventory, our capabilities are low. When we go back, oh my goodness. When we go back, we are going to go to sleep, and then cure any potential plants that need to be cured. And then we're going to call it a day. We're going to do an XP update. But I got to wait because I want to go get that stuff, but I don't want to get sent to the wither. So it'll just be a couple seconds here. I don't really want, I can come back for the corpse cutting. It's not really that big of a deal. Where is my lodestone? There it is. So yeah, we are going to go back and cure any plants that potentially, you know what? Before I go back, I'm going to kill this guy. That was terrible. I used up all my stamina to basically dodge him. I just want to kill this guy because potentially he might have a rare drop. And I don't really want to leave that. So he's right here. May as well do it. Let's see. Nothing. That's okay. We might have something in our inventory that we didn't really notice when we were doing all that. These rare blueprints that I've been told about. Haven't found one yet, but it doesn't mean we won't. So we've got nothing. But we do got a lot of other good stuff. So it's not really the end of the world. Let's see what we can find. Don't really want to mix all that junk up. I guess we'll put it over here. We cleaned out this chest a little bit too. I'm sure you could potentially tell if you've been following us quite frequently. I guess I'll put all those. That should be plenty. That should do it. There we go. There needs to be a cure all. That's what there needs to be. That dagger is elite. It just wipes their face off. This part really isn't that bad as long as you have the plant cures. It's really not that bad. But if you don't have the plant cures and you have to go shovel all that real quick, it's going to take a little bit of time. But as you saw in the beginning of the video, but it's really not that bad. So you could potentially do it and then just get your farming up. So every time you plant cure, it looks like you also get XP. So there's like a little bonus reward actually from doing it. I used to use wild pies at just the most ridiculous times, basically running around the game doing anything. I do regret that because obviously now I see how I don't have enough potatoes. So I think I actually covered up quite a bit of potatoes in the game as well with all my farming plots. So it's not that easy to go get potato seeds. I guess I could look around for some, but ultimately, I mean, they're out there for sure. It's just going to take some time to find them and then hope I get seeds as I'm planting them. This chicken just doesn't want to go. I mean, it's so weird how many feathers I got when I opened up all my Guru packs. I was so concerned about feathers when I was working on cooking way back in the day, and now I know that we're fine. What I do know is we're going to need quite a bit more plant cures because that didn't quite take care of everything. Because I know that throughout the day more will get poisoned. So it's something I'm going to have to go back and take care of. But anyway, guys, we are going to do an XP update. The end of the video, this is how we do it. I hope that wasn't goblins coming around the corner. Okay, so we've got 452,000 attack XP, 154,000 ranged, 1,022,000 woodcutting, 2,037,000 construction. Rune crafting is 1,007,000, magic 159,000, mining 4,437,000. Artisan 4,211,000, cooking 1,009,000, and farming 273,000. So maybe you couldn't actually get farming to 1,000,000 as fast as I said, but you could still get it done rather fast. But you could see it's probably going to take a little bit more time than I originally thought, and that's okay. But I guess you could still get it done faster. All you really have to do is actually put more crops out, like build more and plant more. So it's really just it's what you want to make of it. It's what you want to put in. I think is really what you're gonna get. Obviously, you're probably gonna need more of these, so that way you can get more weeds. I think the yellow potion's probably the best. See, look at that. I'm out of drinks too, or actually I died earlier. So I think that's where that problem is, because the red one is for critical hit, but the yellow one is actually, if I'm not mistaken, sort of like for energy. Let's double check. I know we're supposed to send you on your way here, but I just want to check. I could swear this allows you to sort of do more without using as much stamina, but I could be wrong. Also, our inventory, our character has to go to sleep, but maybe I'm wrong. I could have swore you were allowed to sort of dig more when you use the yellow potion. Could have potentially. I'm sure there's a drink or food that will allow you to just keep going and going. Um, we could actually try the red one, but that's like a that's reduces the stamina of physical attacks. So I don't. This isn't really necessarily like a physical attack, but it does use energy in the way that a physical attack potentially would. So it might be working with this. I've got no idea. We are gonna have to make more of these though because we're gonna need more weeds. Um, at some point, a million farming would be nice to have. I don't necessarily need to get it in Fair Hollow though. I think I could wait and there could be another time where, I could do that. But what I am going to do is make these into plant kills and then send you guys on your way. A couple things before you guys sort of take off. If you're still here, we just want to thank you guys for watching our content. We want to appreciate you guys for all the time you spent watching our content. Hopefully you guys have learned a great deal. And obviously we're going to keep making videos. And hopefully you guys are enjoying your own adventures in RuneScape Dragonwilds. And hopefully you guys are enjoying the game. So until next time, Legion Uta out.